So, okay, I think we're live now. We should be at least. Yeah, okay. So, yo, Derek. You here?
No.
Can you go to the YouTube and see if the stream's up and running? Or go to my channel?
No.
I want to make sure it's up and running, at least. So yeah, I see it on my screen. Okay, here we go. The stream is up. Alright, I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in here and then I'm gonna get this bitch running. Because this is probably gonna be a controversial one. I'm gonna have some fun with it. Yeah, Derek. Is Zaku here? Is Zaku still here?
I have no clue.
Alright, I'm gonna do this on my own. Alright, so I exited call. Alright, so whether or not there are people in here, well, hang on, I'm actually gonna wait a few seconds. Okay, so we got 2 people in here now. 2 people, okay. So, hello, I'm going to do the tier list, finally. I've been debating on doing this for a long ass time, and I figure I'll do this before all the changes come up for Ember Rise. Or not Ember Rise, fuck. Shadow Legacy? I don't know why I said Ember Rise. So, the way I'm going to do this is I'm only going to do one CTU at a time. Well, I'm not CTU. I'm going to do I'm going to do attackers first, probably, and then do defenders, because there's no way you can compare, like, Alibi to Ashe or something like that. So, I'm going to do attackers first. And I think I'm probably just going to work from bottom up. I feel like that's probably the most simple way to do it, so. Can you, is everything looking good in the stream so far? Everything looking good? Yeah, everything looks really fine. So first, what we're going to be doing, we're going to start from the bottom, and we're going to do attacker. So the worst attacker in the entire game, what's up, Muzz Gaming? Glad you could make it in. I think the worst attacker in the entire game is, holy shit, I have not given this much thought. And by the way, I want to reference, I'm looking from a more of a rank perspective. I don't necessarily have the competitive mindset. I mean, not that I don't have the mindset, but I don't have competitive experience as far as someone like on like TSM or SSG does. So we'll be looking at it from my perspective. So, alright, starting off, gosh, this is really difficult. I'd say first up, for the worst attacker in the entire game, honestly, this might be a bit of a shock to y'all, but I'm going to say it is Glaz. Glaz is very bad right now. His gun is very underwhelming. You've only had 10 bullets. He's been through a complete just blunder of changes as far as, like, you know, buffing him, then nerfing him again, buffing him, making him bad again. Right now he just doesn't work because his gadget, you gotta stay still, and smokes, he's gotta get in the right position. It just doesn't work out for him, and he just, I don't know. He doesn't see a lot of play. I mean, you go into any game, you will not see, you won't see Glaz too much. Okay, so Glaz is definitely down here. I think down here as well, we can put, where is she? Finka. Finka is just annoying. People need to stop thinking Finka is really good. She's not. She's got decent guns, she's got frag grenades, sure. But her gadget just, it gives you a bit of health, but the health doesn't mean anything if you get a headshot, which a lot of people just don't understand. And I heard this so much back when I was on console, that if you just aim for the head, it might help. I'm actually gonna put on some music and just turn it down a bit, so I feel like, nah, fuck it, no music. Yeah, Finka, Glaz, definitely 2 of the worst. Definitely 2 of the worst. That might be, no, that's not it. Actually, let me, I'm gonna write this out. This right here might be a bit of a better way to look at it. I feel like, there we go, yeah. This is a bit of a better way to look at it. Bottom tier, low tier, mid tier, high tier, top tier, and the best. I feel like that's a better way to look at it. So for attackers, yes, this is what we're looking at for the attackers. I'm looking through them all. I don't see anyone else. And also, when we look at in terms of like viability, I guess. We look at what they bring to the team, how effective their gadget is, and how they can also how they can function in a vacuum. Because if you can perform all of those, then you can do very well. But right now, I do believe that is it for yes, I'm going to say that is all for F tier or bottom tier. So moving on to low tier, still kind of useful, but not the best. I'm going to say Fuse. The cluster charge addition didn't make a difference to deal with, and the fact that you have to be so vulnerable to put down your cluster charges, and on most of the ranked maps, there's not many places you can really do it safely unless there's a castle barricaded course, which you shouldn't really have to deal with that, because if you've got a castle, you should have a mute most of the time, but that's a bit irrelevant. But I just don't... Fuse doesn't see a lot of play. He's very slow. His guns are decent. I feel like with him getting the new scopes, he might see a bit more play, but I still don't know for sure yet. So yeah, that's Fuse done. Next up is... I had someone just at the top of my head who I was thinking of. I'm trying to remember. Trying to think of who it was. I had someone. He was at the tip of my brain. Oh yeah, how can I forget? Knock. Yeah. Knock's decent. Well, decent's being a bit kind. Decent just doesn't cut it in this game, which is really unfortunate, because she's such a fun operator to play in solo queue and stuff, but she's not very good. Is the stream still up? The stream is still up. Okay. Just making sure. But yeah, she's just very, very underwhelming. And not... She is very fun to play, don't get me wrong. She's a very fun player. Being able to sneak around and creep up on people is awesome, but she's just not very viable. Okay, is that... Moving on to our next attacker is Blackbeard. Blackbeard's bad. His gun's horrible. The one redeeming quality he has is the scummiest thing ever, and that's being able to punish you for aiming at the head, which can be just a pain in the ass with fire rate that you can take it out, but still. Blackbeard, his guns are horrible. He has to remain stationary almost all the time, and when he has his shields on, he's so slow. He's just so damn slow. It just... You suffer so much when you play as him. That is it for... Yes. For, No. Dokebi. Dokebi's the last one on low tier. She's an aggravating... What you're going to see is a lot of the people in low and bottom tier are aggravating characters to deal with, and that's why people think they're good, but they just don't know how to deal with it. With Dokebi, you just try and work around the phone calls. A mute is a very common operator to have on defense. You can hit a jammer. With Knock, you can... Knock isn't silent, by the way. Knock? She is not silent. She's quiet. She's very quiet, but she's not silent. You can hear that. You don't really have much of an excuse if you get crept on. Much of an excuse, and that's gonna sound very bad, but I mean, you just don't. But yeah, Dokebi has very bad guns. The MK14 SMG12 combo used to be two of the best in the game, but both guns got very big nerfs. Dokebi got more recoil on both of them, the MK14 and the SMG12. The C75 is somewhat viable, but you just have no reticle, and the reticles, the iron sights on them are so... They're very bulky and they're very bad. But, and her being able to hack the cams on defense isn't necessarily a bad thing. And I am going to try and say some good things about the people I have in low tier. Finka being able to mitigate recoil completely is a very good thing. Glaz being able to see through smoke is very good. Fuse being able to get maybe one frag and take out some equipment is pretty damn awesome. But I mean, he's just countered by so much. Glaz is countered by so much. Finka is countered by fucking headshots. Knock is countered by using your damn ears. Blackbeard is countered by just shooting through the shield or just aiming at the body. Dokebi is countered by just learning to outplay through people making phone calls and stuff. It's unfortunate, but... And I think that is actually going to do it for the low tier operators. Well, I'm going through this little. I did make a little pre-list. I think this is all for the. Yeah, that's it. Starting off at the bottom of mid tier is Blitz. Blitz is. He got very good at Chimera, but he's seen a lot less play. I mean, the only play you see in. I mean, you see him a lot in rushes for ranked and stuff, and the only competitive team I think that uses him regularly is Dark Zero, when Mint would use him a lot, but Mint hasn't used him in a little bit, I don't think. Either way, Blitz is an aggravating operator. He's fast, he can blind you, but them nerfing Ubisoft giving him a recharge on the shield made him a lot more tolerable. In Mute being played a lot more recently, Mute's been seeing more play, I feel like. And Mute being able to just completely cuck him by jamming the shield is so much fun. But yeah, Blitz is still good. He's just still a very good operator. Yeah, so that's Blitz. Next up, I'm going to put... I feel like I want to put him higher... No, Amaru's here. You know Amaru. Anyone who plays ranked knows, they know Amaru. You know, you go into sight and you kill. Their gadget is completely self-centered, but unfortunately it works so well. And Ubisoft trying to nerf Amaru by taking away the ACOG does not make sense at all, because very few people use ACOG, and their most common rushing strat does not see them use the ACOG, which is a shame. Because but them using the 1.5 or the 2.0 on Amaru is actually, I feel like it's a bit of a buff. So I don't know what Ubisoft was thinking exactly, but I mean, you know Amaru, she's got good guns. Them buffing the gadget was a bit much. I know I did preach about wanting to see Amaru be better, but oh well, I came around to eat my words now, didn't I? Yeah. Hey, yo, it's Hunter. What's up, Hunter? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing alright down there, and I hope y'all are safe from the hurricane that came through. I know it kind of hit down y'all's way in Mississippi, so I hope y'all are safe. Next up, I'm going to put... Yeah, I think Gridlock's here. This isn't a way to say Gridlock is bad. Gridlock's very good. TSM used her quite a bit when Jarvis was on their team. They used Jarvis a lot. I mean, they used Jarvis on Gridlock a lot. I know Rogue used Eclipse a lot, and I think Dark Zero might have used Gridlock a bit with Eclipse, but yeah, Gridlock's good. I mean, the track stingers are good, smokes, and she has great guns, but the biggest downside is one of her only downsides is the biggest one, the fact that she's a 3-armor. She's loud as fuck. It's horrible, man. But she does have good guns and smoke grenades, and she can use the track stingers, and they do deploy faster. So that is always good. But yeah, all good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, man, I'm glad y'all are safe. Because I know you're all very close to the Gulf. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on Gridlock. Who's next? Who's the lucky number contender? Lion. Just remembered. Lion's here. Oh, yeah, Lion's here. Lion's good. Lion used to. I mean, you remember Lion. He used to be the literal best character in the entire game when coordinated. Even when you weren't coordinating, he was still pretty damn good. And they nerfed him a lot, which I do respect. They did listen. They nerfed him not very quickly. They nerfed him quicker than most people have gotten nerfed. But yeah, he's still very good. You know, though one of the issues with Lion is you run out of bullets kind of quick because you only have 3 spare magazines with a 50-round mag, which isn't bad, but with a gun with 50 rounds, you tend to pre-fire a bit and be a bit reckless with your ammo. And then next thing you know, you're only left with 1 magazine. But yeah, he's got stun grenades. He can still be coordinated well. It's only a red ping now rather than a complete silhouette, which is good, much better and much healthier for the game as a whole. So yeah, Lion's still there. He's still good. I've been playing him quite a bit more recently, but I haven't really put him to work yet. But I still love him. Who am I thinking of next? My audio sounds good? Okay, good. Oops, that's Discord. Next up, who? I think next I'm going to put... I think Montaigne can be in the top of high tier. No, Callie. What am I thinking about? Yeah, Callie. Callie is... no. I'm gonna put her off to the side for a little bit. I'm gonna say Montaigne. It's at the top of mid tier. Montaigne is just a big nuisance to deal with. I mean, everyone knows how he can be used, you know. Turn your shield to plant, just being a big distraction. He's not the king of 1v1s like he used to be, but he's still the king of 2v1s. When played properly, of course. But Montaigne has that issue of just requiring a ton of coordination. And a lot of people don't want to be coordinated nowadays, which is a shame. Unless, you know, you get into the higher ranks, of course. People are going to be a lot more coordinated. And that's good. But Montaigne, just the fact that dropping your shield, there's a lot of time, and sometimes you think you can be far enough away and he'll still knife you, which is mind-boggling to me, but I don't know. Yeah, I'd say Montaigne's top of mid-tier. Next up, I might do some reordering later. Please note that it won't be ordered through here. Like I'm not gonna say Montaigne's better than Lion and like Gridlock's worse than Lion, but like when you get to top tier in the best, I feel like then I can I feel like then it might be a bit more ordered. I want to note that all this down here is loosely ordered. That I don't want to put that in there because that'll take a lot of time to type out for all 4 of the tiers. But yes, do keep in mind. BB best operator in gunfight changed my mind. Absolutely not. In a vacuum, I'd say just about any character can be BB in a gunfight. Any gun really, because as long as it's got like a decent fire rate, and depending on what situation Blackbeard's in. But next up, I'm going to say is Yana. Yana's here. Yana is good for intel gathering. She's very good for intel gathering, but most of the time the Gemini sound is too loud, and people know like, hey, Gemini's coming in, and then they'll just like give a quick tap and not panic. But she can still like, sometimes people try to ignore the Gemini, be like, oh, it's not there, she can't do anything. But most of the time, Yana's with someone else, so Yana's steady giving call out saying, hey, Legion's sitting in L, he's sitting in Z, he's sitting in Harry Potter, you know, they're giving that call out, so. But yeah, Yana's got frag grenades, she's got 2 very good guns, G36 and the ARX, and a good pistol. She has 2 armor, 2 speed, and she's very good, but the Gemini just doesn't fully cut it. The fact that you have to be completely idle is a pain, and is a very big liability, but most of the time they're going to be, a bit more safe about where they're sitting. Is the operator with the highest kill per round? I don't understand what you're trying to say there. I'm not trying to be rude, but I have no clue what you're saying. So, yes, that's going to be it for mid-tier. At the bottom of high tier, I'm going to put Callie. Oh, that's Ace. Oopsie. That is Callie there. Yeah, Callie's very good. She, with having classes SMG now, is very good. And her sniper is the fact that it's a one-shot and 9 times out of 10 is very lethal and very surprising sometimes, because sometimes it will catch you off guard. Like, you'll just be pre-firing or shooting and you'll just get shot once and you're dead. Which, that's the unfortunate reality of it. But Callie's gadget, also the Lance, I think it's called the Lance or whatever, it's very good. The fact that that even when you ban Thatcher or Twitch is off the board or Maverick's off the board, you have another person who can do that. But then again, the downside is the amount of time it takes for the bolt to go through, or to, you know, pull the bolt back and stuff. It's slow, so you gotta hit that shot, or you might suffer a bit. Or then again, you can't just take the risk by using either the SMGs, but then again, those are good only when close range, so you gotta pick your moments. But Callie's still very good. Still very good. 100%. Next up is IQ. What am I doing? Ying. Not IQ. IQ is up a little bit higher. Ying is very good. We all know Ying. It was a discussion with R6 development. He said that Blackbeard got the highest kills per round of any ops. Yeah, but Blackbeard's pick rate is in the fucking toilet. Blackbeard's like one of the least picked operators. I mean, so the statistics aren't going to be completely solidified. Yeah, he may have the highest kills per round, but how many rounds has he picked? As opposed to Ash, or Ace, or Buck, or IQ, or Habana, or Jackal, or Ying, or Callie. I'm not trying to completely stomp your discussion, but that's just the point I'm trying to make, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to give you a bit of a feedback on that. So yes. Ying is a very I'm not gonna say niche, but she used to be very good. Yeah, situational, so I'd agree, situational. But Ying is very good. She's got her getting the LMG buff, like, to the damage back in, like, shit, like 2 years ago made her so much better. And having all the Yings work, the Candelas work the way they did were very good, but she still has her issues, you know? I mean, I think she's very good when coordinated. She could be the most deadly character when really thought. I mean, like, back when Penta was at, like, the SI Invitational in 19, Hungry was destroying people with Ying. Bolo in CCS destroyed people with Ying. So many people used Ying because she was very good. But she's kind of not necessarily fallen out of meta, but she's not used as much with how much her issue is she kind of can't destroy utility, and now we're kind of in a destroy utility meta. So Ying kind of slips out of it a bit, but not completely, if you know what I'm saying. She can use her smoke grenades to burn ADSs or use her Candelas. She can, like, deploy in a spot, then have the Candelas fly in and take care of the ADSs. It's a bit tricky to do that, but it can be done. Very strong. Not as good as it used to be, but still very strong. Jackal's got 2 of the best guns in the game. He's got a secondary shotgun and smoke grenades. That right there is amazing. But the thing is, his Inox is kind of a bit of a hit or miss. Like, I will say the way they changed the Inox forced him to play in sort of a stealth role, which is how he's originally intended, rather than just scan, go find the enemy. But what they did actually helped him so much, because he's finally in a situation where he needs to be a bit more coordinated, which is what Siege is. Down to its core, Siege is a competitive, coordinated game, which is what the developers were going for when they made it. And forcing Jackal into that role is what they need to have done, honestly. But yeah. The downside to Jackal is that when you have to take a shotgun as a secondary, you kind of are forced to reload your primary when you get into a gunfight, unless they're very close, because the pocket shot is very good up close, but anything more than like 5 meters away, fuck all, man. So yes, Jackal's there. Next up I'm going to say is Thermite. Thermite is here. No, Twitch is here. Twitch is here. Hello? There we go. Twitch is, Twitch has been one of the best operators in the game for a long time, but she's kind of, not necessarily slipped out of the meta, but she's kind of gotten steady nerfs. She's the gadget nerf, of course. Her, the F2 getting a bit more uncontrollable, but with practice, the F2 is still very strong. You have to pull down to the right a lot, but the F2 is still very, very good. It's still one of the best guns in the game. But 25 bullets, of course, running, you burn through your ammo lock, considering it's like a 900 RPM. So you still burn through it a lot. You have to be a bit more precise with your shock drones, but that kind of rewards the player for practicing, of course, which is, I feel like, one thing that's not done enough in the game is rewarding players for their effort and their hard work. So yes, I'd say Twitch is there. Like I said, that's Twitch. I'm gonna say Sledge. Sledge is here. Oops, what did I do? Sledge is not down there. He's up here. Sledge is just, he's never fallen out of the meta. He's never been nerfed bad any. I mean, great guns, great gadget, frag grenades. He can take fuse out of the bottom? Absolutely not. Sledge is he can do so much. He's got 25 sledgehammer uses. He can create so much vertical pressure. The only issue is if they're top floor, you can't really do vertical play, which is why Buck has always been considered a bit better than him, but Buck has less can't create as much destruction, but Buck can be used on either or. But Sledge, having grenades, SMG-11, LED-5, very, very good. So that's where, yeah, Sledge is there, definitely. I think next is No. I'm gonna hold off. I think, yes. I'm looking through, hang on, let me move all the attackers. I'm gonna take all the attackers and move them over here so I can look at them all, so I can make sure I'm not missing anyone. So, just take a minute. Because I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone at all. So yeah, these are the attackers who I think we're working with at this point. Let me make sure. Yes, this is all the attackers we are currently working with. fair, but what about Fuse when he has a secondary hard breach? He can get kills or destroy gadgets and get a hatch. Yeah, but he's still with 3 armor. His guns are very underwhelming. The scopes on them are horrible, and he has to be vulnerable when putting all those gadgets down. And he doesn't. He's just not in the meta at the moment. He can get lucky when they don't have a Jaeger or a Lamai, but what are the odds of that happening? Very, very slim. Anyways, yeah, last one for high tier is Thermite. Thermite, you know, he used to have a 100% pick rate in Pro League until Habana came out. And then with Maverick, he kind of fell out. Then with Ace, he fell out even more. But that doesn't mean he's still bad. That doesn't mean he's bad. He's still very good. He's still a very good character. You know, he's got a very solid gun, 2 good secondaries, stuns and a claymore. He can open up a wall completely, which is kind of like someone made a chart. One moment. I'm dehydrated, but someone made a chart about 2 weeks ago, I think. When the it was about 2 weeks ago when the DLC for the new season was released and the breaches came into question. Someone made a huge chart. Hang on. If I can find it. Someone made a chart. Shit. I don't know, it's not all that important, but I just remember someone had that chart, and it was actually a very cool thing to look at, but yeah, Thermite's still very good. It's just, you kind of have to pick which hard breacher you want to use, and they're all very situational. They all have their own uses, which is why I do like having that many hard breachers in the game. So I think that's going to do it for high tier. At the bottom of top tier, at the bottom of top tier, top tier, yes. I want to put Captel, top of top tier. Captel is very strong. He's 3 speed. He has a very good gun. That I see, love your videos. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot. But yeah, Captel's 3 speed. He's got a very good gun. 2 very good guns. Even the LMG is used from time to time. It's still very good. He's got stun grenades and a claymore. Well, actually, no. He's getting a new hard breach as well. But he doesn't really have any issues, except that you can be caught off guard sometimes when you're using your crossbow. But that's not that much of an issue. Captel really doesn't have many weaknesses, and I guess the only real weakness is his gun has a slow fire rate. That might be the only issue, because it's like a 650 RPM on both the FAL and the LMG, so it's not that much of an issue. Next up is going to be IQ. IQ goes here for top tier. I think IQ is here. She's got one of the best gadgets in the game. You can do so much with it, and she has 3 outstanding primaries. The AUG is the worst, of course, but the Commando and the G8 are both very, very amazing guns. You have breaches and a claymore, of course. She's 3 speed as well. You can either use her to rush, which I feel like is a waste at times, but then you can use her guns. Her guns win you so many gunfights, and she can take out so many gadgets through vertical play or just through walls and stuff. Her only downside is that you have to have your pistol out to use her gadget, but I don't think you need to have your primary out when using it, because I feel like that would be a bit extreme. Hashtag give IQ her nades back. Next up is going to be Buck. Yes, Buck is here. Had he still have his nades, Buck would be in top tier. Or the best. Buck would be the best. If he still had his gun. If he still has frag grenades. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. His recoil, manageable. It's high, but manageable. He's got the TTK is very, very fast. Vertical destruction above and below, and horizontal destruction as well. But his only downside is him no longer having the frag grenades. That's his only downside. He has stuns and claymore now, which is not bad. But it just hurts. It hurts so much. And the last one, top tier, is Ash. You know about Ash. Yeah. QEC. That's all I gotta say. Well, not really, but she's got 2 amazing weapons, 3 speed, very, very frustrating hitbox, flashbangs. Her breaching round is her breaching launcher, her grenade launcher is very, very good. You know about Ash. I mean, you know about her. And that's going to be it for top tier. Now the last 5, I'm going to try and order this. First is Hibana. Hibana is such an amazing character. K Gaming 625. Hey man, I hope you're doing alright. Thank you for tuning in. But Sledge, don't give a F about your BF. Come on. Okay. But Hibana is a very, very good attacker. You know, she's 3 speed. She's got a kind of a similar hitbox to Ash, but not as bad as people make it out to be. 2 amazing weapons in the Type 89 and the Bearing 9. And, you know, she can open up many hatches. She can open a prone hole, a walk-through hole, a jump hole, or crouch hole. But her only issue is that the Bearing 9 can be a bit jittery, and the Type 89 only has 20 bullets. That's it. But I hear so many people complaining that Hibana should have 30 bullets or 25 bullets, but I don't mind it with 20 bullets, personally. But, I mean, I've been using Hibana since day 1, essentially, since she came out, so, I mean, that's just me. Next up is Maverick. Maverick is... Oops. Whoopsie. I messed that up. Maverick is, I think a bit better than Hibana. Mainly for the fact that you can completely just mitigate reinforcements. And a lot of people were complaining about in the, your dog looks really cute. I don't have a picture of my dog, but thank you. But Maverick is very good for the fact that now when they gave him the buff, like having an additional canister, I think it was, it didn't give him too much to the point where you can open up more hatches, but they just kind of gave you more margin for error when going for the hatches, and I really do appreciate Ubisoft for doing that. And you can't do it. I don't have anything like that set up. So yeah, Maverick, very good gun, 3 speed. The only issue is you're very vulnerable when you're using your gadget, because you have to completely put it away in order to use the breaching torch, but still very good. Next is going to be Zofia. A lot of people were saying Zofia was Ash 2.0 when she came out, and yeah, they were pretty much right. Zofia can do vertical destruction, horizontal destruction. She's got 2 outstanding guns, a pistol with a scope on it. She's 2 armor, 2 speed. My profile is a dog. That is not a dog. And she's just very, very... There's no situation where you should not bring a Zofia. The thing is, with these 5 up here, there will be 2 more up here, but there's no reason you should not have any of these operators, unless they're banned, of course. Next up is going to be Ace. Ace, of course, you know, I mean, everyone... I remember when he first came out, I played him on a test server, and everyone was freaking out saying he was broken. And I was thinking people were overreacting, but the more I think about it, the more I realize they were right, because Ace is very good. He's 2 armor, 2 speed. He's got the AK-12 with the standard sights on it. He also has the M10, which no one uses. He's got the P9 as a secondary, and his gadget is stupid strong. He can completely open up a wall with 1 shot. You don't have to expose yourself to do it at all. The only issue is it can be shot, and AK charges, and it can be tripped and stuff. But that's the only issue with Ace. And the last one, of course, is Thatcher. Thatcher, I believe, is the actual best attacker in the entire game. I think Thatcher is truly the best. Even with the nerfs, I think Thatcher's the best. I just don't think there's any way around that. But because Thatcher can completely... He can stop bandit tricking. He can take out gadgets. He can disable gadgets. He can just do so much for the team that it makes you think, you know, wow, them banning him is right, but I think Thatcher gets overbanned, but when you think about it, his utility is just so damn strong. I really don't blame him for it sometimes, but yes. So this is the attacker tier list here. This is it in full. This is really... looks a lot better than I thought it would. I'm gonna take a little screenshot of that. So yes, that is all of them for the attackers. So I'm just going to move them all back down here. Well, I can just refresh the page, actually. But yes. So that's... Fuck. That's amazing. I'm just gonna move them all here, fuck it. But, yes, so that is it for the attackers. Thatcher's new nerf's going to ruin him, though he won't take out gadgets anymore. Yes, but he can still disable them. He can still disable them and get his job done. He can still take out a lot of gadgets. He can disable them while the enemy makes their push. People don't realize the nerfs are not going to break him. You should set up a donation thing. I really should, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So, attacker's done. I'm going to take a quick second. Now that that's done, let's get the defenders going. How long have we been streaming so far? Been streaming for 36 minutes. Wow. Not as long as I thought we have. Interesting. So that is... So let's do the defenders. Starting off, I think this should go without saying. To be honest, as long as the bandit isn't a god tier timer, he should be good. I mean, bandit tricking is still going to be relevant. People need to realize that. And, I mean, it's still going to be just as difficult to do. But, anyways. Yeah, Tachanka, I don't think this should be much of a question. Tachanka is one of the worst in the game. 3 speed, he has to be completely stationary while using his gadget, which is just a big no-no. And, yeah, I mean, his guns are decent, but he's just so bad. I wish Tachanka was good. I really do. I say that now, and then he's gonna be on a fucking unicycle or some shit like the memes were. But, yeah. He just doesn't work, which is a shame. Next up is Alibi. Alibi is no. No. I'm not going to say Alibi, I'm going to say Cavera. Cavera is also one of the worst. Cavera has the worst guns in the game. She is a 3-speed, and she has impact, so she can roam. Her gadget is decent. You're not completely silent. But... the fact the interrogation takes way too long. People can just leave before they can get interrogated. That still exists. It still works. And as long as your team is talking, you shouldn't have an issue with the Cav. Cav should not be an issue. Cav should not be banned as much as she is, as long as your team is communicating. Which I know is a bit too much to ask. I've been Plat 2 ever since Parabellum. That's that. Hang on, let me check the comments. If you think about it, you won't be able to ban trick because if there's a ban on the wall, you can't replace. Yes, but you can just pick it back up or you can shoot it. One of the two. To be honest, bandit trick may be hard now as he now has to pick out the ban charge, whilst before sometimes it would just get destroyed. What rank? That's what I just said. Yep. So yeah, these two are just the clear worst. I don't think there's a discussion about it. Yes, so that's going to be it for bottom tier. And low tier, we have Alibi. Alibi, her guns are okay. Her gadget is very bad. I mean, she has a shield, which is also good. She's 3 speed, which is also good. But her guns are not the best. The Storm isn't a bad SMG by any means. The A12 is a decent shotgun. Her gadget just does not get shit done. It just does not do anything. The gadget just, yeah, it shows your location for like 3 seconds on a red ping. But you shouldn't have, it shouldn't be that much of an issue, in all honesty. And I can't see an argument for Alibi being mid-tier highest, and that's being modest. Anyways, so that's, yeah, Alibi's there. Next up, I would have to say, I think Frost is here. Yeah, Frost is here. Her guns are very bad. The Super 90 used to be very good. The SMG is okay. But her guns are just so bad. And Frost mats are very they're not very difficult to deal with. Their shields, well, sometimes they can be dealt with. But most of the time you should have some sort of gadget that can take them out, like a sledgehammer or a Zofia charge. Sledgehammer. What else we got? We've got a sledgehammer, we've got Maverick torches, we've got thermite charges, we've got grenades, we've got ash charges, we've got Zofia charges, we've got God, my throat is getting drier and drier. You've got just so much that can deal with it. You've got fuse charges. There's just so much that you can do to get rid of a shield to expose the frost mat that it shouldn't be that much of an issue. But then again, I've said this since day one. You can be a copper, you can be a champion, you can have 300 hours in a game or 3. You will always eventually hit a frost mat in ranked. You will always hit a frost mat in ranked eventually. Which is a shame, but it's the unfortunate truth. Capkin's next. Capkin's next. His gadgets are decent, but most of the time you shouldn't be getting hit by him because unless you really gotta expose yourself for it, Capkin traps are easy to find. Even when you put them at the bottom of the door frame, you'll still see the Capkin trap. You really should not be getting hit by him. I mean, as simple as that. You really should not be getting hit by him. That's going to be it for Capkin on him. I think we can all agree I think Rook's down here as well. Rook has an ACOG. He has the best gun, one of the best defending guns in the game. And he has an ACOG. He's a 3 armor, and he has one of the best guns in the game. But his gadget does virtually nothing. It protects you from explosives, and you take less damage when you get shot by it. But have you ever tried aiming at the head? I mean, as bad as that sounds, headshots completely... Rook is useless against people who just aim for the head. And as bad as that sounds, as shallow-minded and as narrow-minded as that sounds, Rook is still very bad in the game. Rook is still very bad at the game. Well, not bad at the game, but he doesn't he doesn't provide much. Unless you're on console. In that case, on console, Rook's up here. Which is unfortunate. But people on console just don't have... It's very difficult to snap to the head like someone on a mouse can. As someone who played console for 3 years, aiming at the head is so much easier to do with the mouse, which anyone can tell you that. Anyone can tell you that. But, I mean, it's unfortunate. So yeah, Rook's there. Definitely. One more for this tier is where is he? Orcs. Orcs is bad, man. Orcs is bad. He has the MP5 but doesn't get the ACOG? That's a shame. You really can't use him. You gotta take the Bailiff as a secondary if you want to use the MP5. You gotta take the Spaz 12 as your primary, which you're taking Shotgun as your primary with no fully automatic secondary. That's a shame. And you're so exposed when you climb through a hatch. You can use him to make rotates, sure. But then again, you know who else can? Just about any defender. Bandit can if you want to use C4. You can use Castle. You can use... Let's go through them all. You can use Castle. You can use Mute. You can use Maestro. You can use Goyo. You can use Cade. You can use Mira. You can use Smoke. Some of the best players in the game. You can use Vigil. You can use Warden. So many very good characters can be used to make a rotate, which very just throws Orcs out the window. Doesn't even matter. And it sucks. It really does, because Orcs is such a good concept and idea. Well, a good concept operator, but it sucks. That's going to be it for low tier. Next in mid tier is Doc. Doc's kind of on the same levels as Rook, except he can give health. That's the only reason I would put him higher. He's a very good in ranked, but he doesn't provide much for a team besides health, which in that case, 1, the defender has to not get hit in the head. 2, you have to remain stationary while using your stim pistol. It's hard because Doc is an anchor. He has to be on site. The roamer has to get back to site. It's very difficult, but, Doc is still a good operator in ranked, but competitive-wise, he's not the best. Well, from a competitive standpoint, he's not the best. He doesn't provide much for a team, is what I'm going for. So that is Doc. Next up, I'm going to say... Oh, God, if I could not make everyone fall asleep. I'm going to say that Ella is next. Ella's here. I wish Ella was still good. I really do. Now now you pretty much have to use a shotgun in order to have a chance of winning your gunfights, which is very degenerate. I mean, Ella used to be the best defender in the game, and she got nerfed all to hell. And she got a little bit more of a buff, and then she got nerfed to hell again, and she got another buff, and now she's bad again. Because Ubisoft doesn't want us to have fun. But her gadgets are good for more of a like a alert system, kind of like how a proximity alarm would work. So she's still good in that aspect. She has a shield, and she has a 3-speed, so she can roam. She does have her good things, but the trade-off is harsh, very harsh. Yes, that is going to be it on Ella. I don't have anything else to say there. Yep, nope, got nothing to say. Next up is going to be Castle. No, Castle's better. Castle is indeed better. Very much better. I think Mozzie is here. Mozzie, yeah, he's here. Mozzie is good because the fact that you can take defender's drones and use them on your own, thus cutting off a tool for roam clearing, is a big deal. But most of the time, the defenders are in a situation where they can just so easily shoot the drone, or the attackers are in a situation where they can so easily take out the drones. And therefore, all you did was just take away a piece of their roaming utility. But most of the time, people save their drones. If it doesn't, I mean, then again, a lot of people are not afraid to just throw their drones away and stuff. But the fact that Mozzie only has 3 pests kind of limits it. And I will say, I feel like if Mozzie got 4 pests, that'd be absolutely stellar. I think he'd be a bit better, honestly. That's it for Mozzie. Next up, I would say, I feel like, Pulse is here. Pulse is good. He's very good for intel gathering. Very good. And he is a 3-speed, and he does have 2 decent, very modest guns. But, well, not modest, but I should say honest. And the fact of the matter is that honesty does not cut it sometimes. Honesty just does not cut it. Like, yeah, Pulse is a very honest character. I mean, he can pull some tricks using his pulsing through floors, and using like the bumblebee strat with the pulse scanner and stuff. But he just doesn't always work, which is a shame. But he's still very good for intel gathering, and I do like that. Warden's here. I'd say he's a bit worse than Pulse. Warden's here. Warden just needs to have so much to happen, so much to coalesce for him to just work, which is not okay. It's really not okay. If so much needs to fall into place for your gadget just to work, then you're not that good of an operator. You're really not. But Warden is still very fun. With the 1.5 time scope on the TTS, I've been roaming with him much more. So the moment people throw out flashbangs, I can cut on my goggles and immediately just mitigate that, which is so awesome. But I don't know. He still has its weaknesses, of course. So yes, Warden is there. Goodness. I am yawning a lot. Clash. How could I forget? Clash. Very much a bad operator. Well, she's bad. Well, she's decent, but she's so goddamn annoying, man. If I could, I would sell my soul to remove Clash from the game. I really would. I'd take one for the team, man. Clash is just so annoying to deal with. Her downside is that, you gotta put away your shield on your back in order to use your guns, which is always a bad thing. But fine with me, fuck her. Fuck her. She can have that shitty ass thing. I'm cool with it. Perfectly fine with it. Yes, that's it for. I think that's it for mid tier. Up bottom of high tier is Castle. Castle's good. He's very good. He's a very big utility waster, and the thing is, if you don't have breach and charges, or you don't have anything to open it up, Castle is gonna waste your time, which is exactly what his goal is to do. Which is why he's seen a lot in Pro League, because he can just completely shut stuff off and just make it so much more difficult for the enemy team to get around, which is the point. But yes, Castle, very good op. Next up's Mute. Mute here. Yes. Yeah, Mute here. Mute is very strong because he can cut off so much intel. He has very good guns. He can use the shotgun SMG-11 combo or the MP5K SMG-11 combo in roam, or use the shotgun, use rotates and stuff, and have a C4. That's all very good. But I feel like his one issue, well, I feel like the mute jammers are good, but they're just kind of, I feel like if you could use the mute jammers to cover more walls, or maybe just the radius of it is a little bit larger, I feel like mute would see a lot more play, and people would realize his true worth, if that makes any sense. But that's just my view. Next up is going to be Goyo. Goyo, everyone thought he was a huge problem, especially in the 30-second meta, which is why Vitality loved and hated him at the same time, because in a 30-second meta, he's very strong. Combined with Goyo, Castle, Smoke, and Maestro and Echo, that's probably one of the best combos there is. But then again, you are dropping some other stuff. But Goyo having very good guns, plus a shield like that, plus the C4, is an issue. I feel like people just haven't realized. Well, I mean, I think the Pro League community definitely realized how good he was, which is the reason he's lost his shield. But he was just so broken, which sucked. But yes. Next up for the defenders is I think this will be Legion's here. Legion's in high tier. He used to be up here. No discussion at all. But he sort of slipped out of the meta with the big change coming to him. You know, you can't see the Goonios from a certain meter, and they don't damage you initially. But he's still very good. He's still a nuisance. Still big in the 30-second meta, of course, but yeah. Is that going to be it for high tier? I think it is. Yep. So now we're moving on to top tier. The best of the best, the tippy top best operators. Starting off in top tier with Vigil at the bottom. Vigil's very good. Very good weapons, 3-speed. His gadget his goal is completely works for a roamer, which is to waste time. And if you can waste time and then get back to site, and then when you're joining the last second, you don't know where the Vigil is. If you're pushing into a room where there's 4 different angles you can cover, and you know one of them, let's say there's 2 defenders alive. You're pushing into a room where you have to push to go plant, and you know a Jaeger's in one corner, but then you see the Vigil scanner on. You know he's in one of those 3 corners. But the issue is, you not knowing makes it so much more difficult to win that 1v2 or 2v2, or to make those frags and get those trades, because you just don't know where he is. And you know he's just a very valuable operator. He has very good guns. You know about Vigil. Everyone does. Yes. So next up for our defenders is I had someone just on my mind. Kate, that's what it is. Bandit. Bandit's top tier. Bandit is top tier. 3-speed, outstanding guns. His gadget is so versatile and useful for the team in preventing breaches from getting open. I feel like with the way bandit tricking might work, he might get a little bit worse or a little bit better. I'm not sure, but we'll have to see how that plays out. I think he's good where he stands in my tier list. Next up, I'm going to say is Maestro. Oh, no. Mozzie. Mozzie's here. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, Mozzie's there, 100%. Mozzie, 3-speed with the T5 is very good. A shield or a C4, and with a gadget that slows you down, makes a fuck ton of noise. It's just so good. It's so good. God, I can't get over how good it is. I realize I don't think I put Nomad in my tier list for the attackers, but she'd be up here. Yes, I do agree with that. Mozzie is very, very good. Yeah, I think that's it for the top tier. Now on to the best. At the bottom of it's Cade. Cade is so strong. The fact that you can electrify hatches and 3 walls at once is so powerful. Even with the nerfs to the Magnum and the shotgun, he's still a very good operator. So useful, so versatile. You really can't complain about him. Next up we have Echo. Wait, no. I'm gonna say Mira's next. Mira's right here. Mira was the intel. Like, she changed the meta more than I think any other operator in the game has. When she came out in Velvet Shell, the meta changed so quickly. Because, I mean, she made intel, like, the #1 tool for defense, and it just blew my mind how much it changed it. Because you could walk in front of a wall, see a mirror, and then immediately back away and say, okay, how are we going to work with this, or how are we going to work around it? No one was able to do that but her. No one did it like her. And of course, you know, I mean, Maestro, Echo, not really Echo, but Maestro, and Mozzie and stuff made that a lot more difficult in the future. K does not suck. Sorry, Braden, but K does not suck at all. Next up, I'm going to say I'm going to say Valkyrie's here. Valkyrie is amazing. You know, she's got the MPX can be a bit finicky sometimes, but headshots are key, of course. Her intel is so great. I wish she still had the Wind Bastion Peyton Manning arm, but I really can't complain with her. You can use pre-play C4, and you can just work in a way that is so frustrating. And I don't like Cade. Okay, doesn't mean he sucks, but go for it. You can like whoever, you can not like whoever you want, but it doesn't change facts. But Valkyrie's, you know about her. She's outstanding, great guns. She can make lines of sight with her Deagle, of course, to throw C4s. You can use pre-play C4s. You can put Valkyries in such tricky spots. It's insane. She's truly insane. Next up, I will put Maestro next. Maestro is very powerful. Very, very powerful. God, I realize how many operators are really in the top tier. There's a lot. I may have to do a bit of reorganizing, but you're the best YouTuber, not by a long shot. But Maestro, I wish he would get the 2.0 or 1.5x that they're given to the attackers and defenders. I really wish he'd have it on Zelda. I'd play him so much more. But he's still very good. Gadget is very good. You can destroy enemy gadgets. You can damage them. You can gain so much intel, but I mean, there's really no but. He can do so much. Next up, I'm going to say is I'm trying to figure out the way to order this. I'm gonna say Jaeger. This is next. Jaeger's, you know about him. 3-speed, best defending gun, small hitbox, barbed, just so much. The ADSs are so versatile and so useful, man. And I mean, yeah, it's clear how good Jaeger is. Him getting the 2-speed change, or well, he's not 3-speed anymore, but him getting the 2-speed change, it didn't affect him at all. His pick rate's still through the roof. I think he is the highest picked defender in the game. Next up is Echo. Echo is so good. He can completely deny plants. And, I mean, him being able to deny plants while being a 3 armor with an ACOG on one of the best guns in the game on defense is very, very valuable. He is one of my favorite defenders, of course, but I don't really see any issues there. Next is Smoke. Smoke is, with the 30-second meta, Smoke revolutionized the 30-second meta, combined with barbed wire and using his shotguns to create lines of sight is outstanding. I see people still to this day use the FMG9 and pistol combo, and it just hurts. It hurts my brain. But shotgun, SMG11, and barbed and or shield is still the best combo to this day. He can completely deny areas. He can just cut off areas, lines of sight, create lines of sight. He's just very, very useful. That leaves one last defender, and it's probably shocked y'all, but it's Wamai. I think Wamai is the best defender in the entire game, honestly, because he has 2 very strong weapons on attack. He has he has 2 very strong primary weapons. He has the Kratos and the P12, which are very good weapons. He has a shield. And he generates a disc that can intercept any projectile that comes in its path and pull it out of the way so when it goes off, it can be out of your line of sight. Wamai is a must pick on so many sites. So many sites. Because the longer he stays alive, the more valuable he is and the better he is. And I've never realized how many amazing defenders there are in the game until I looked at this tier list. Jeez. That was a lot of talking, and it took 1 hour to do this tier list. My throat is dry, and I'm gonna go eat. Alright, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Glad y'all tuned in. Everyone who tuned in, thank you so much. It means a lot that y'all done this. I might try and find more videos to do like this, where I do something like this, or I do some kind of online game with my friends or something, but this was a lot of fun. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time.